With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys make their first selection of the 2023 draft, and they're going with D-tackle Mazi Smit. It's a rare mixture of size and speed with a plus punch. Smith going to look to find more consistency at the center of the star. Joe Musso alongside our stars. We'll get to them in just a moment, but we go to the big star first and foremost. Pete Prisco joining us here with a grade on Smith. Pete, we saw a quick moment of tape there on Mazi Smit. His good is great, but they're looking to live in that area more often. How do you grade the piece?
Yeah, I love him. He's one of my favorite players. He's another guy who was on my better than team. He's a power player in the middle of their defense. And look, there are times where his weight has become a problem. I think he is worn down in games. He needs to be more consistent from that standpoint. But when he's at his best, like he was against Ohio State, he is a wrecking ball in the middle of that defense. He can stop the run. I think he's going to be a better pass rusher pushing the pocket than some people think. I don't think he's just going to be a two-down guy. I love this pick for the Cowboys. Give him an A.
All right, sensing a theme here. If you make the better than list, you're getting an A.
No question.
Your team is getting an A if you make the better than list. Pete Prisco, you go back and look at those from years past, and the man is onto something. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to Ryan Wilson here on Mazi to the Cowboys, a franchise that, I mean, let's be honest, they're perpetually one piece away. Could this, in fact, be the piece, Ryan?
Yeah, Pete, the correlation between Pete's better than team and those A's, that's like Pete Prisco NIL, because those guys are getting paid. That's what's going to happen there. But, right, they needed help on the interior defensive line. In my last mock draft that came out, I don't know, 12 hours ago now, I had them taking Kalijah Kancey, who was already off the board. But here's what you have in Mazi Smit. He's 323. Yep. Pete mentioned the weight issue, and he is an absolute freakish athlete. The problem, it doesn't show up play in and play out, and that's when you wonder, why not? Does he love football? These are just general questions, not specific to Mazi. Does he love football? There's something else going on. How are we going to handle this? But in Dallas, a team with a culture, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but they win football games. Maybe they have the players around him to keep him laser focused to get the most out of him.
Yeah, D-Law. You look at Parsons. They got some veteran, experienced players on the defense that have been playing some pretty good football, so maybe they have a plan in place. But this is a need. They haven't had a massive interior defensive lineman for the Cowboys in quite some time. A guy that can stuff the run and also occasionally put pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and that's who Mazi is, especially when he's dialed in and he's focused. It's hard blocking a guy that plays with that type of leverage and strength. He is a three-down type lineman. I understand he's over 320, but he is a guy that can be a three-down productive player for you, similar to what we're seeing down in Tampa with Vita Vea. I'm not comparing him to Vita Vea, but you talk about Vita Vea being a bigger, massive guy. Most of those guys don't play on third down or passing situations. Mazi can potentially do that, and I think, like I said, if he's dialed in, this could be a huge plus for the Cowboys moving forward. And don't forget, a year ago, that defense, they didn't lack any talent. They were dealing with some injuries in the back end, but in regards to the first-level guys, they did a great job in putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks.
And by the way, Joe, what do the Eagles have on their defensive line that got them so far? Depth. And that's the plan here in Dallas.
And they take a piece from that playbook here, going to the interior with Mazi Smit. We'll see if he can be the difference maker for Dallas next season as we take a look at that player profile. 6'3", 323, the big body. Heading to Dallas, fifth-ranked player at the position, according to CBS Sports draft prognosticators. But you can throw out all those numbers. He is headed to Dallas at number 26.